Welcome everybody to another week of ESL Pro League over here in Europe. It is getting down to crunch time. Playoff seedings start to matter. All of these matches will dictate where these teams will fall in the standings to end the season. To walk us through it today and for the rest of the week, I've got my trusted companion Sponge, who's always here with me, and then I've got Pansy,
who's sometimes with us.
Wow,
No,
who's
Lauren's with
sometimes
us.
with us.
No, Lauren's with us every day.
That's aggressive.
Every day.
Was that aggressive? I didn't think it was that aggressive.
That's a little much.
We're always happy to see you here, getting us started on the right foot. I figure you'll set the tone, keep things locked down, pure business.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
The tail end is my favorite end of the season.
Yeah?
It gets exciting.
Yeah, it does get exciting. You've been waiting for this all season long. This
I've been
last couple
harping on
weeks.
about
Yeah,
it. The other matches, they definitely mattered, but not as much as the next 2 weeks.
And this is why they matter. The standings going into these last 2 weeks. This is North America. SK still on top as they've been most of the season. Their brothers from Brazil, Immortals, joining them up there at the top. Cloud9 and Liquid following that up. Energy and Renegades, the team that even if they stay in the top 6, cannot actually compete at the Pro League finals, which is a little bit of a bummer.
And the thing was, we were saying that NA and EU didn't have that much of, the similarities going on. EU was always the closer of this. But look, it has actually caught up quite some way. 7th to about, I guess, 10th. You've got a bit of a matchup there. Things can change in this. It's going to be a bit of a close run as well in North America.
Yeah, I think the big difference between North America and Europe is the bottom 4 teams have absolutely no way of qualifying. Where in Europe, anyone can still qualify. There's still a chance. There's like a glimmer of hope for all of those teams.
Even Kingwin can rise up to 6th. And I mean, nothing highlights that more than North and Astralis. I think they still have the chance. If everything goes to hell, if everything goes wrong for them, they can still drop all the way down to 13th. I think is their worst placing possible. But either way, yeah, this is just going to be a battle through and through. All of this up in the air. And then this is the schedule for the week. This is kind of what's going to bring us through it. And I mean, we're going to start things off like we said. We have Lauren here to start us with the right foot on the desk. We also have one of the best matches of the week is the first one. G2 taking on Astralis today. Virtus Pro is going to take on FaZe later on tonight. Did you have something to say? I thought, saw your hand. Saw your hand in the corner of my eye. I got excited. No worries. And then obviously NIP playing a couple matches towards the end of the week. They have to win those if they want to stand a chance. And Mouse Sports surprisingly still in that top 4 spot. They've been doing good all season, yeah. Yeah,
I guess we all thought once that Nico aspect kind of faded away, things could change. But, Robs came in and they've actually gelled really well. We've seen players really stepping up to the plate to provide them consistency, and it was from players that we didn't necessarily expect. Dennis was one of them who kind of turned a lot of heads because he used to have those one-off games where he'd be good, but he seems to have found some consistency.
But consistency is the big thing, and I mean they're having a little bit of a fantasy run here at the end of the year. And speaking of which, Henry G's also having a little bit of a fantasy run. He has been really motivated. We've been playing ESL Fantasy all season long. If you guys want to join it, it's fantasy.eslgaming.com. These are the standings of our league.
This hurts me. This hurts me.
Well, no, here's the thing. I don't even really care about the top of the scoreboard. Henry G has gotten out of last place. He came in so fired up today to set his lineup.
Poor Mitch. I think Mitch felt bad for him and started to pick bad teams just to let him back in.
Well, obviously what we can't tell anyone is that we asked Mitch politely to help Henry out. Yeah,
he took the dive.
I think it was 50 euros a week.
Something around that marker.
Yeah.
It was all worth it.
It's getting pricey. Yeah, it is all worth it. Just for that smile on Henry's face. This is Chad. This is
my team.
You basically stole mine, though. This was disgusting.
Numero uno, and I've gone for the 5 NA strat.
That's not bad.
I'm really upset with this because he looked at my team because I accidentally reminded him that this was going on. I could have left it and start,
The teams are quite different because Lauren has messed up here. She has picked 3 players from Europe who are all going to have relatively tough games.
What, VP and LDLC? You reckon they're the
wow, throwing on the gauntlet.
All right, well, we'll see come end of the week, Lauren, but
it's a lineup.
It's a 2-horse race with Matthew limping behind. He's not too far off. If he has a good week.
He's not too far behind. He's not too far behind at all.
Why would you go for Cutler over anyone else?
He really does like Cutler. We're hearing that he hasn't actually changed his team.
He's on it right now.
He's a bit of a hot mess. So hopefully, if he wants anyone from G2 or Astralis, he's got to do that pretty quickly.
He's got 11 minutes, I believe.
And this is Cartman. This is Alex.
He's not doing too badly.
Yeah, he's not. He's actually leapfrogged me into 4th place, which is a little awkward.
Depressing,
yeah, it is.
Let's get him up on the desk.
One more reason for me to be a little bit of a train wreck today is this kind of a situation.
I've gone for the Cloud9 faith at this point.
Why did you go for Cloud9 when they're playing like a team like Liquid, who are on quite even pegging, I would say?
Glory. I'm going for Glory.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not about the amount of points. It's about the quality of the points that you do get.
This team hasn't changed since week 3, I believe it was.
No, he's stuck in there.
Is this Alex?
Yeah, he's committed. I like the commitment.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. Definitely committed to that. And then we'll head over towards Mitch. He's got some things to say. We had a lot of action going on this weekend. Take it away, Mitch.
Very much, Moses, and again from me. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League for Week 9. My name is Mitch Leslie, of course, and this is my little corner. What I usually do here in this segment is firstly direct you over towards our social media platforms. It's facebook.com/ESLCS and at ESLCS on Twitter. Now, over the weekend in sunny LA at Beyond the Summit held their first Counter-Strike event over in Los Angeles. The big winners here were SK Gaming, ended the series 16-13 on Train against Gambit Esports. This wasn't the only bit of news for SK Gaming to come up over the weekend, though. As we mentioned last week, SK Gaming and Virtus Pro have confirmed their lineups for the highly anticipated football match-up. With this tweet, Virtus Pro put an end to the wait. Everyone was wondering when this was going to go ahead, and here are the rosters for SK Gaming and Virtus Pro. So for SK, Fallen is the captain. They've got Fur. Valery Kirov is the video producer for the team. Coldzera, Taco Phelps, and Alexander Muller, the managing director of SK Gaming. For VP, it's Pasha Biceps as captain, Snax, Taz, Neo. Solo is a Dota 2 player for VP. Paranoia plays League of Legends for VP. And of course, Kuban, who you all should know is the coach of Virtus Pro. This match will be a 5v5 plus goalie and is set to be played on July 10th, right after ESL 1 Cologne. Now, VP are going to be playing in tonight's second match, but for our first match tonight, we have our latest invitees to ESL 1 Cologne. It's going to be G2, of course. And this, of course, is their roster graphic. They just announced this one, and already the field is shaping up to be very, very strong at the Lanxess Arena. But now, as always, to kick things off for the week, ladies and gentlemen, it's our Pay Save card top plays for last week.
They can do here, but they might find a kill. Furlan just as he's dead, knowing them down.
Okay, tapping and finds a third. Gets down on one knee, sits behind the rock, not to be seen, pops up now, perfect timing. Gets two bodies, got Guardian at large though. Ooh, and Simple doesn't care.
Dennis sure has real estate towards short, but surely someone's going to check on that. Two players giving his back. What is this?
Having the position, but just can't hit anything at all, so he goes down. Now Kusa's got to save the day. There's one and two, looking for the third now as he swings out for it, finally hits that shot, and the fourth from Kusta. Figuring this out, they're just now sending Kusta back. FNS whipping big time on the initial spray. Ethan getting 2, 3, and 4 from Ethan as he goes massive here.
We here at the European side of Pro League have been on blue counting watch all season long, and he got up to 4, not once, but twice, back-to-back 4s.
Van, he's the Count from, what was the show? The Muppets? Was it the Muppets?
Oh, I just did this. It was,
oh no, Sesame Street.
It was Sesame Street, but do you know his name? It's like Count, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, he's a vampire, for those of you who are probably too young.
For those of you who may not have been around.
He's quite a staple in most of our childhoods, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, staples
Blue,
that we've...
it's stuck with him.
Yeah, it really has. Like. Really has. Well, I mean, there's some other staples that we've had in Counter-Strike. I mean, Astralis players, big core, the French players as well. One of the guys who's been with us for so very long through professional CS is NBK. We actually had a chance to talk to him earlier today about this upcoming matchup.
Well, good, and you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I just had some quick questions on what you guys have been looking like recently. I mean, Star Ladder's a little bit in the past now, but one thing I wanted to ask about, I noticed at the event, was you guys as a group, as a team, probably looked happier together, spending time outside of competition than any other French lineup that we've seen in the past year. Is there something to that? Is this feeling like a pretty solid band of guys that you're with?
Yeah, I mean, we were just waiting for that moment on LAN, and things were getting pretty good overall. Had good games, all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I mean, we were just waiting for that first tournament together, and yeah, the spirit was very good. We were supporting each other constantly, and yeah, as you said, just enjoying the time together.
I mean, through all the different roster changes the French team has seen over the years, I mean, you've played with and against a lot of these guys on multiple different occasions. Did it feel with this team like you guys are starting at square one? I mean, was there any like tactical changes you guys are making that makes it feel like you're starting from the beginning, or is it kind of just picking up where you've left off in the past?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to do something that we haven't done before with other French rosters, in the sense that, yeah, we're trying to build real team play and bases we can work on for the future as well. And so it's not just blunt raw skill, but just trying to really work on the game and what everybody likes to do. And I mean, that's the upside. We know each other for a long time, all of us, and it's just a matter of now putting the pieces together and, yeah, again, just enjoying playing together. And that's the main thing.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, funny enough, one of the players that's been one of those very important pieces to this puzzle is one of the guys that you haven't really played or known for a long time. That's Body. He was one of the guys that kind of caught some eyes when he was the one chosen to be the 5th over perhaps Scream was a popular other option. But I know a lot of the analysts have a very high opinion of Body as we've seen him kind of grow over the past year. What were the factors in the decision to bring him in? What did you see in Body that made you think he can be a very, very good player for this team?
There is several reasons. He's been very efficient, obviously, with G2 the past year. Been playing very, very solid. And the other thing is that he's also a very calm player, although he is not at the highest level for a very long time. He showed a lot of composure, and I mean that has been said by Shocks that has been playing with him. And yeah, I mean he can do pretty much whatever we want him to do in game, and it's always good to have someone that is flexible and someone that have, you know, the hunger for that and to really do things the best way possible for the team. And like in this roster, we have all been here together for a long time, and yeah, it's good to have that fresh air coming in and yeah, that extra motivation.
Now, switching over to the complete opposite is essentially, you know, a longtime teammate, friend of yours, Smith's, who was a player up towards last year, decided to make the switch into the coaching role. What's it been like having someone that you've played with, that you've won championships with, turn into the coach, and now you have to listen to him in kind of a coaching role? Is that an easy thing to do as a player?
Yeah, because he has always had that role within the teams to be. I mean, he has the most experience I think out of everyone, and we know that he always thinks about what he says and what he is offering to the team, and so it's really easy to work with because he's a person that you can get along with very easily out of the game, and I mean as a person, and so yeah, it's just about, I mean, for him, it's mostly about fitting his role perfectly and knowing what exactly to do at what time and what he can do best to support the team and put us in the best conditions. And that is the thing, the part is kind of up in the air right now because the coaching role in Counter-Strike is not yet established. Some are going to be just about helping the players, some are going to be about helping the mentality of the team. And so Smith still needs to find that pace, and we're all working together for it. But as a person, as a new coach, and having a coach in a French team, especially with Smith, is like it's the perfect thing because if it wasn't for him, I think we would have not taken a coach because to me it's kind of like Starix when he decided to coach Navi. You could see that his help was, I mean, he was helping the team a lot. So I see Smith kind of in the same regard. They're kind of the same profile of player, very experienced, and that the team trusts. So
is he, just as one last quick follow-up, is he taking on more of like a tactical role as a coach? We always hear the discussion of coaches between like a tactical guy and the emotional guy, just keeping the pulse of the team. Is Smith doing one or the other more so, or is he dabbling a little bit into both as a moment?
No, he's trying to really do everything because it's quite hard for a coach to have a lot of impact regarding the tactical side.
Yep.
In the sense that, yeah, obviously now the coaches, especially for Valve sponsored events, can only talk during 30-second
timeouts. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, I mean, just quickly on that, I think it would be great if they could have the possibility to talk during freeze time, and then shut the mic down. That would be, to me, the perfect option. But yeah, Sharks has the game in hand, and again, it's what we're trying to do with this roster is to have everyone being happy with what's happening and being happy with the role they play most of the time. And so that's why it's hard for him to have a huge impact on the tactical side, but he is working closely with our analyst and KJ on kind of selecting the tactics that work and that don't work. And yeah, trying to really calm the pace or hype us up when needed in games and when we need that extra boost of like an external point of view that comes in and tells you what to do.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks very much, Nathan. Good luck rest of the season. Hopefully we'll see you in the finals.
Thank you.
Yes, that's what they're fighting for, is a place in those playoffs, to get to Dallas, to get to the Pro League finals. So some good things out of NBK about his team there. A lot of confidence in Body, obviously, coming up. And I think the big thing is a lot of faith in Smiths as a coach.
Yeah, nice of you to button up your shirt for us.
Yeah, that was...
you had to tame it down for me.
There was naturally. There was a story from that. I did come straight to the studio from the airport, and that was done within the first 3 minutes of me walking in the door.
Just a deady host.
I thought I was pretty well put together, all things considered.
Where were you over the weekend?
I was in San Francisco. We talked about this last week.
Oh, it's quite far away from...
Yeah, it was a bit of a hike.
Old Cologne.
It was a bit of a hike.
Just to build a little bit more on what Nathan was saying, you know, it seems like in the past these guys have always just been very strong in the way that they approach the game, because it's just what they like to do. And now that they're actually adapting and being a little bit more strategical in their approach, players like Body and Apex, more so Apex, are going to really struggle, because when you're just running executes and you're running into a brick wall, you're usually the first one to die, right? And it's quite an adjustment for him. He's going to have to get used to potentially being dead quite a lot more than normal.
Now, isn't one of the benefits for an entry fragger of running an execute, though, is you know where all your smokes and Molotovs are going to be. You know the spots that are necessarily blocked off, or you don't have to. You can cut down the angles you have to check as an entry fragger.
But if you can get past that initial phase and then make it out to the first point of cover, then it's cool. But if you're just running out, you know, and even though execute happens, if they know the execute or they have a good position, your job is also to create space, and there's a high probability that you will die while creating space for your second and third players to come in and trade you. So in-set strategies, as opposed to having an entry fragger who kind of does it by feeling, right? Like, I'd say in-game leader entry fraggers like Carrigan and MSL, those kind of guys, they entry frag by feeling. It's like, oh, I can feel a gap here, or I'm going to take the risk with this gap, and they can take that. In a set strategy, when your in-game leader's telling you what to do, like what's going to be happening with Apex now, it's going to be much more difficult for him. Like, he won't be having that freedom unless he just has one of those games where he's been let off the leash and he can run around and pop heads.
And just speaking to the previous style, I guess, of the French teams, right? It doesn't just apply to who we're seeing tonight. You can apply it to others to a degree, because, you know, these players swap and change quite regularly, or at least they did. I know that Astralis have found it hard to deal with that style, right? It's not quite the Fnatic approach. It's still this kind of weird in-between where it's very hard to read. And they find playing against more logical teams way easier to focus on than sometimes that occasional, we don't know what the hell they're doing, so how do we approach this? So it's quite a weird state of flux, considering that now we're seeing the French side's becoming a little more refined. So it should be an interesting matchup.
I mean, now that we look at the entry fragger on the other side of the table is Astralis. I mean, someone like Dupree has really, really kind of changed the way he's played his game, changed his role around a lot. You see him doing a little bit more entry fragging, a little bit lurking as well. I mean, he seems to be doing a lot, but I mean, as someone who's not an entry fragger, that's got to be one of the toughest roles to learn.
I think like having him and Kirby interchangeable players, right, within entry situations or lurk situations, all that kind of stuff is really good, because maybe if you're not working in that position, the in-game leader can change it up to a different bomb site, and your counterpart might be able to make some like successful plays from that. But for me, for Dupree to like change that position, it wasn't that he wasn't an entry fragger. It's like I said about the MSL or the Carrigan, right? It felt like he was more like instinctual. He wasn't just like a blunt object being thrown into the executes. But to build more on what Lauren was saying, I have a clip that shows these. It's not random. It's a mixture of strategy and you know, a skill. And what you're going to see right now from G2 is a it's not even a smoke wall. It's 2 smokes thrown from very deep without mid control, and 3 players using the smoke as cover to push out and cause chaos, basically. This is my lovely third-person camera work familiar today. You see the smoke on balcony, right? It allows them all to jump out. You see 1 jump out, quad push into the bomb site, 2 jump into pit and trade successfully. And the CT players, they can't deal with it, right? Because the angle you were once watching has now been opened up into 3, 4 different spots, and you can't watch them all. And things like that, they're very risky, because if you jump out and the guy is in a position like on balcony right there, he would be able to mow them all down. But in that situation, they were reserved in pit and site, and they were able to flank and push around and find the angles that they weren't watching. That's why they can be so successful, because of that skill.
And you look at it as well, if you take it back to the Astralis example where you use Fnatic, they'll purposely sit so passive to deny that kind of easy entry style that players and teams like Fnatic and the original French sides, when they're like that, they'd sit further back. So you see pieces like that even on Inferno, you can see how it applies to other maps and how that style can be kind of undone as such.
I'm glad you applied the Inferno tactic to the map that we're going to be playing, which is Train. That's Sorry, Sponge's mistake. We'll just throw him under the bus really quick. And then we're going to, I mean, this is kind of the situation where they have this very explosive style. Is that going to work on a map, on like a situation, because the clip we saw there that you highlighted, they have Tech 9s, they have UMPs. Yeah. Is that going to hold true into the gun rounds, the AK-47s, the rifles?
Much harder on Train, right? You know, you need to be able to actually get out of those choke points. And with all the Molotovs, you have Device overlooking the area with the AWP, and he's deadly, as we know, with that weapon. It's very difficult for them to be able to find that room.
I just want to highlight as well, this is not a great map for G2 overall either. This hasn't been one of their go-tos. It's not one that sits in their pocket all that regularly. They play it, they're fine in it, but also I know that they haven't pracked that much recently. So I think there's been a couple of issues away from the game that they just had to deal with. So I know that they're not completely hot off the press. So this could be a very rocky start. Cash is a far more likely map for them to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a map that loves that individual skill. But this is at least going to be a great test to see, as they try and mix in some tactics, some structure.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great test, barometer of where they're at exactly. Because when you train, you have to have that.
I guess to kind of build on it, they did play Astralis in ECS just maybe a week and a bit ago. Yeah, I think. And they lost 16-12. So it was a relatively close game. They had a very good start on the T side. I think they were 5-0 up. And that was obviously, staying on top of the economy. But once Dupree, Glaive, they get close to him, get close Pop. You got Kirby babysitting Ivy, and then Device roaming the lanes with that AWP, and Zipnix is that rock inside. It's very difficult to deal with that when they're setting the pace.
They're also running double ops on T side as well.
Nicely done. I'm glad you fit that in very, very quickly. Well done. We're going to send it over to Sadicus and Henry G. They're going to take us away on map 1.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, we are very excited. The essentially fine line of the season. We are getting into what really matters. I think Astralis, if they go 2-0 now and against Fnatic, a little bit later this week. They play Fnatic this week. If they go 2-0 in both instances, they actually qualify, not necessarily in first place, but they get a top 6 spot guaranteed.
Sure. They'll be the first team to do that. They're currently number 1, and it's still up in the air. Even the 2 weeks left, there's still so many different things that can happen. I think even the team at the very bottom, if they win all of their games, LDLC, Kingwin, that's right. They can actually still make it the top 6. That's how close it is right now.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. We talked about this, in a lot of the seasons, even back toward ESCAI, before the ESL Pro League was created and formed between the 2 leagues. This was always something in this league that was very close, especially in the European division. And when you had only 4 making it through, it was extremely cutthroat.
Yeah.
Now with 6 making it in, I think it's still dramatic. It's still a battle. It's still a grind. But I think it's right. I think it's fitting to what the sort of landscape is. G2, on the other hand, by the way, is a team that came off the bottom. They were 1-9, I want to say.
We had a video earlier today on Twitter, didn't we, that actually explained that how G2 had that real slow start coming into this. Just when the lineup was formed as well, their first obvious competition was Pro League. Getting into it, I think they lost the first 6 or 7 games of 0-7 at one point, and people were saying this super team's never going to come into fruition, but they've turned it around. After Starlighter, they've looked much better, and hopefully they can give us a good game tonight. It's going to be Train, as Lauren pointed out, not known to be one of the absolute best maps. Astralis very good on this, but I still think they can give them a run for their money. Those double orbs come to life. Sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes the double orbs look amazing, KNS and Shoxy. Obviously, Astralis don't really have that, but if that does happen for G2, I think they can actually take this one. It's obviously going to be an interesting game nonetheless. These are 2 very good teams at the moment. Astralis goes without saying, number 1 team in the world right now. G2 coming in hot as well. Here we go then. G2 on the CT side, Astralis on the T side. 3 sets of armor, and it's going to be a more technical approach. You can see got a couple of smokes to work with there, and 2 Molotovs as well, presumably going towards inside. All things considered, there is a CT presence though towards upper round. That's Kenny S. So good at this USP, can't land the shot just yet.
Trying to. Flame's not quite reaching to his feet, so he's got the availability of movement to do so. Falls back. They'll still occupy the brown halls. He spotted 3, but hasn't called for full rotations. They're toward the mouth of the Z to connector, but they're not all the way inside of the site, which means if the bomb goes down, the T's can still push forward. Kenny, I think down to 1 HP, has to try and hold off. They've wrapped around. And MBK forced well back. It's a great shot onto Zipnix climbing the top of the ladder. That's going to allow bomb down, but not the advancement we talked about. Shocks as well, body. Everyone stepping up. They all go down, and 5 stay alive despite the early push.
Now, we said Kenny was good with that silent USP. He doesn't get any kills at the upper round, but he repositions. He dodges the flashbangs. He's just taking calculated risk at that point. Waiting for shots that are realistic. Hits the first one. He's down to 1 HP. At that point, doesn't overcommit. Actually waiting until someone walks into his crosshair, gets a second kill, stays alive. Clean sweep there for G2. That's a perfect inside hole from 1 player at that point. Like you said, he spots inside players, but it's not automatically going to mean they're going to commit to that area. Astralis do go with it down the lower ramp. They get a plant in, so they can buy AKs in the 3rd, or some teams are opting to buy in the 2nd round. Na'Vi especially seem to be doing that a lot these days, but it looks like a full eco here. A couple of PC50s into the mix. But in terms of the G2 buy, we have 3 rifles, one of which is a FAMAS in the hands of MBK, and 2 UMPs. So a strong buy here for G2, keeping things nice and long range, I'm sure, with the rifles. Astralis, only options really to try and trade a frag, maybe 1 or 2. They do that, damages the CT money going forward, and then if you win their X down with your AK-47s, I mean, it's almost going to be a guaranteed EK for G2 at that point. But let's see what they can do. Shoxy is getting a little bit more aggressive here towards upper round. Takes a lot of damage, but does find the first kill.
Decent. Tries to spray and pray down as he walks out back from the corner. They knew he was there. He's pinched off as well. But Kenny's going to hold Pop Dog, meaning even though they've gotten that UMP and they had the brown halls occupied, he's making sure they cannot go back the other direction unless they go all the way through T-spawn, which they have the time to do, but not the distance. And now they don't have the option. Apex, good positioning, holds that off. It has to be B. The other two can rotate over well and truly ahead of the play.
Yeah, we've got that flanking player coming in towards the vending machines right now. It's Apex, and he's in a perfect position to farm some cash and win the round. It should be obviously a GG round at this point. This is a bit of the spray, but takes down Kiabi in the process. It's going to be a 4-on-3 now. kennyS really doesn't have to commit to this, but he's going up the top dog. That was a risk, and takes a shot from his teammate as well, but he will find a couple of frags here. Bomb down, round complete. Just Device remaining, hoping to get a cheeky frag with a PT50 here. Nails that. Takes down Apex, and like we said, this is as good as it's going to get.
Can you define cheeky?
Holding an angle, not really having a chance of a frag.
Just everything is cheeky, though. Like cheeky burrito.
Who said that?
Everyone. I've heard you use it frequently.
Do I?
In
it's a very
many
British
instances.
expression.
I
don't know why they do it. And that particular instance, that was a cheeky frag. Yeah, you're out
I get
of
it. I think it seems self-explanatory, but it's so diverse.
It's true.
It's a very good word in that sense, I think.
Let's drop it in. Wow. Speaking of dropping it in.
Early plant, early buy.
Exactly. So Astralis get 5 AKs, and they did limit the G2 economy of those 2 kills with Glocks and PT50. So this is a big round for Astralis now. They've got the advantage, I guess, in terms of firepower of 1 FAMAS being there in the hands of MPK. And let's have a look at the setup now. 1 CT towards inside, that's body this time. And it's going to be a default round from Astralis. No presence towards Ivy as of yet. They're waiting for the initial pushing from the CTs towards that Ivy position. You can see Shoxy by the server. He won't be committing just yet. He'll be baited in by his teammate eventually. That's Apex. And for now, we are getting 3 players towards Pop Dog. So this might be some sort of smoke execution here.
I'd say that's probably correct. Not committing to it just yet, though.
Plenty of time.
Shox is going to push as well. You see he's at the server. He's going to start to go. They were watching down, but they've set for a different set of smokes. And Device has to be careful because he's on top of the dumpster and could have been spotted. If he backed up even a step, Shox would spot him. Meanwhile, bottom Pop Dog. Oh, down they go. And MBK greets them inside of what was a fading smoke to catch off 2 with a FAMAS. Upgrade onto an AK. Line up toward A main. Bomb drop. 3 kills. Potentially a 4th, but Xyp9x will take him. Good transfer as well to find Apex. However, it's Device left against 3. If there was 1 man you'd want left to do it, you could argue Xyp9x, but right now I think Device is up to the task. The fake plant, though, he's still looking toward Ivy. Shox has gone all the way around. So, in fact, he will get caught out. Body's the one that gets him from inside of Pop Dog, but as you can see, Shox was coming in A main as well.
What a fantastic round that was from MBK. The player we said was there with the weaker bio, the FAMAS, managed to get 2 very impressive kills there. The fact is, he looked like he was surprised he even got 2. You can see him getting his knife out, stabbing the walls, like, how have I managed to pull that off and I'm still alive? Got a 3rd of the AK as well. Pretty much shut down the round single-handedly there from that aggressive Pop Dog play. It did come back into a bit of a dicey situation, though, with Xyp9x finding 2 frags, but ultimately, G2 find the 3-0 and will be Astralis eco at this point. And that's a hell of a shot. Device takes out kennyS from main entrance to make it a 5-on-4, just like that. And they've got something to work with here now. They have 1 flashbang remaining, and they are very good at the Desert Eagles, this Astralis squad. That was actually a kennyS AWP as well, Matt. That's insane that he managed to take him down.
Well, meanwhile, it's going to be silent approach toward the Brown Halls. The fact that we're on train as well, there's other significant aspects to this because Astralis are arguing the fact that they could be one of the greatest teams on train. VP come to mind, but we know they're having woes as of late. FaZe had a decent performance on it in Katowice their first time together with Nico.
Yeah.
But the fact that G2 are shutting them down, I know it's early yet, but the last gun round was rather convincing with MBK catching them off, is encouraging. And again, they read the rotations correctly, not so much the fact that they're already on the bomb site body. But they've done things well. They're going to try and deny the plant from a range now, and they can't quite do it. So body going down does actually have its small reward to Astralis, just simply that they get another bomb plant, which will now get them a 4th round loss bonus plus the $800.
That's why a lot of teams focus on the inside area, especially when you have that sort of man advantage. Device doing an amazing job to give them a 5-on-4 that almost guarantees there'll be 1 player towards that inside site. You've shown a lot of presence outside. You could call for a rotation. If there is a connector player, he'll try and back up his teammates in the area. It's got a little bit weaker. And then body. Normally very good in those solo positions, most multiple down, but he only gets 1 frag there against the US PT50s and Deagles. 1 frag, not really enough to deny the plant, and here's the replay. MBK's fantastic work towards Pop Dog. That's the frag. I was super impressed because he was stabbing the water. It's like, what the hell just happened? But there it is, 4-0 for G2. We have got the Device AWP. This is one of his better maps for sure. Train goes towards main entrance, usually on the pallet. Goes with some wall banks as well. He'll be throwing a fast smoke out, though. Suggests his teammates could be going down Pop Dog nice and quickly. We'll see what that's going to be ringing true. Body close towards the lower ramp. Will be challenged by Dupree, but sends him packing with the incendiary there at the bottom.
Chalks goes back down toward his team, fakes the run, and then walks back out. He might get there at the, ooh, wrong time. Device at the op looking that way, looks away. And that means Shocks will cover off from Dumpster, but it's MBK again who's got a fine accuracy. Gets 2 immediately on the AK bomb as well. They have to commit to pull it back, and thankfully Glaive gets an entrance. Not seeing much from Dupree in that regard, as Kenny's gonna find 2 more, leaving once more Device.
Here we go.
This time, not a 1 versus 3, a 1 versus 4. Jumps for information, spots 1, but has no idea how to find the angle without being found by someone else first, and that's gonna happen right now.
Good attempt by Device, but the 1 on 4. I thought it would be a bit of a tricky situation there, and now G2 managed to pick up 2 orbs. So Astralis, they actually got shut down by a single smoke there. That was great utility management from G2. The full execution comes in from the Danish side. They're going for one of those set pieces to actually get the bomb down. G2 drop the smoke on Popdog just as it's coming in. Obviously, you have a little bit of time as the smokes are flying over to deny that. MBK drops it in. Nice AK headshots from him. That's why the CT's always upgrade to the AK-47s. You have that 1-tap potential. And MBK, another great round from him. Brings the scoreline to 5-0. But we still have money available. But this time, Kenny S comes out on top on the orb duel. Device going for his standard pick in that position. He gets beaten this time. 5 on 4 on Dupree. He takes a lot of damage. I think he got dinked towards the Ivy area. He did indeed. So he'll be falling back. Drops his gun on the floor. Looks a bit frustrated right now. But holding the dumpster position.
Yeah, I would be a little bit frustrated if I were him as well. Entry fragging, significant. Especially on train, you've got to get kills on the way through. Kirby down as well. And this could be a very, very early save call, if that. Dupree's going to have trouble getting out of spawn. Molotov's going to land. He's got to cross. As soon as he does, he's in the open for Apex.
This is looking pretty brutal now for Astralis. They had maximum loss bonus going into this round, so they still had a buy available. But next round, unless some sort of miraculous plan comes in, it's going to be another eco here in a 6-0. Still early days, though. Winning 5 rounds on the T side is absolutely fine, but looking very promising so far, especially for MBK. He must be close to 10 frags right now. He's on 8. Kenny S actually leading the charge with 9 there. He's found a few orb frags ever since he picked that weapon up. But like we said, G2 normally opting for this double orb setup. Sometimes some amazing effect, and sometimes not so much. It seems like they force it a little bit too much sometimes, but there we go. Another clean sweep for G2. Not a single frag picked up, or really any damage inflicted by the Danish side. So, like we said, another eco required. They can do a partial buy here, meaning deagles, maybe some body armor, some smokes. Objective, try to get the bomb down, maybe get Tech-9s out as well, push through those, and we'll see whether that comes in. There's Zipex with the first smoke and Tech-9 buy. Train's very good for this sort of play, so you can actually do the full wall of smokes outside, almost guaranteed a bomb. The CTs, unless they're pushing in front of the smokes, won't want to overcommit and maybe give a frag away by themselves. Want to make sure they have the full retake potential here. So here we go. Only 1 smoke purchased by Astralis. That's for Zipex. So bomb down a T-spawn. They won't be operating too quickly here. And Apex might just find an early frag as he watches towards that dumpster position at Ivy.
Apex will spot
that's a fast
the
one.
Jump. Yep, that was quick. Good movement. Required movement, but now he knows there's one in the corner, so the nade, well, not hard to land in that position. Kirby goes down to 66 as the result, and I think that was enough for them to back off. Yeah, thankfully so, because they're going to nade stack that now with MBK. What do you do about that? When Kenny's on like that with an AWP up close, just don't even go near him. They do dink MBK, but it's a far dink. With limited pistols, it's only 48 HP left. It's significant enough. Kenny gets 2 more. Why not? 4 in total.
Yeah, it seems like he's on point today. And then
this is going to be a challenge for Astralis now.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. This is when they probably resort to the outside rushes, you know. That would make a lot of sense at this point. The defaults aren't working out for them. The set pieces are landing on deaf ears. We'll see whether they can actually do anything going forward. Device has been shut down since he picked up the AWP. But number 8. Device not going towards Benitez this time. He's looking for that aggressive upper player. And Body is heading in that position, so we'll see whether he can actually maybe find something here. It doesn't make sense for him to extinguish that upper Molotov. And Shoxy, he finds the opening frag. He had that shotgun-style AWP towards the lower ramp. Takes down Zipex, 5 on 4 once again, as quickly as that.
And MBK will wait toward Popdog. I don't think there's been one round that Astralis has had the opening pick.
No, this is looking rough for them. Like I said, I thought they'd go for maybe some rushes now and stick together, get some group play, got to build their confidence up. And now it's another 5 on 4. And they're going for set smokes outside once again. The bomb, though, however, heading towards the inside position. That's Glaive. So is he going to be baited into the inside area by himself? Is that the idea here? Or maybe he goes down Popdog. We'll have a look. Looks like it'll be the latter. Flashes down Popdog. He'll be joining his teammates after flashing himself. That was so bad.
That was brutal. The ladder at the ladder, and the flash goes straight into his own eyes.
So
I don't think we saw it on our camera, but yeah, that was very, very well All too easy for MBK. Kenny rotates around, takes the shot from hell down the lane, and they're just walking into crossfires at this point. This is broken for Astralis right now.
So you guys didn't catch it on stream, but Glaive, he's got the bomb by himself, a pop dog, and you know the set flash, you right-click it down the top of the pop dog to flash the CT down there. He does it and jumps down the ladder, looks at the flash himself, lands on the floor, and MBK can't believe his luck at how easy that kill was to find the bomb by himself as well. There's the run boost we're getting excited about as well, quite fast, but didn't really get them any work done. But 8-0. No bomb planted once again. I have a clean sweep, I believe that one as well. They got one
down. Yeah.
Okay. So tactical pause, probably a good time for him, Matt. It's not looking too
absolutely.
good.
Is Zonic in the server? I imagine he is with Astralis.
He is.
Yeah. Zonic's a very committed coach. The coaching role has become more and more mandated, not just for events, but for online as well. It's constant. It's all the time, especially in Pro League. We just said how close the table is right now. Astralis could easily not make playoffs just as easily as they could clinch this week.
Sure.
So it's, Zonic's going to be all hands on deck, and he's got to come up with something right now. And it's like you say, maybe you do something a little bit more simple at this point. I wouldn't mind seeing, they keep going toward Ivy, but not doing anything with it. I wouldn't mind seeing more isolation with utility, and maybe even take over the backhauls. Do something to force the CTs out of position.
Let's just do one of the fast outside plays. Let's get the smokes as we run out towards that position. Let's get all 4 players out of main entrance.
You want to go wall of smoke?
Yeah, well, like the ones you can do, they're never perfect, but you can do the running smokes to go out and block off some key positions, and you're just allowing your aim stars to actually get an opportunity to take duels instead of getting picked off one by one by the double orb setup, which is shutting them down.
The issue is, and I agree that seems the simplest, is that MBK is winning every duel forward of where those smokes are. Yeah. And Dupree is not hitting anything against him. And Dupree, by the way, still sits. He has 1 kill now, so too does Cabby, so it's not going well. Look how timid they are as well. We can see it on your screen, Henny. Glaive is at the top of Pop Dog right now. Yeah. And he's already thrown utility. He's already jumped across. He's already done everything possible just for this position. Look, double flash this time because they're that worried of how aggressive MBK is playing, so they're less utility when they do get to the site. They will go for the wall of smoke. MBK tries to spray into it, and that's going to allow Glaive to at least get by and get the bomb down. And smartly, he gets on top of the train because he's expecting the smoke to be sprayed. Shox goes through, flash up, sees him, turns, and he finds it. Another head in front of him, but he can't land the shot. Baits in body, though. And MBK, he gets the next. So too does Shox. The round over. All
right, Shox feeling brave today. Deagle in hand, right-click, flash through the smoke, and actually gets away with it as well. Finds 2 kills there. He doesn't even want to use the AWP. That's great work by him. Another set piece by Astralis. The bomb goes down this time. You can see the bomb planted on the actual train itself. That's obviously the spam position beneath it. That's where the most players will be trying to plant the bomb. MBK can't deny it. And the opening frag comes in as he went for the full spray as well. I think it was Kiabi that took him down. And we thought, okay, there's an opportunity. But Shox, he says no and finds him clustered up by the E-box. His teammates flanking in from inside as well. Body, great awareness there to come in, push inside, and have the perfect timing to join his teammate. And it's going to be 9-0. This could be a very quick game indeed. Like we said, maximum loss bonus and the bomb going down, still having full buys here, but no device orb. Shoxy up around this time. Let's go.
Smoke was there early. Team thrown as well, so he knew to watch the wide angle. So Body puts that in position. They jump through it. Shox misses, though. That's going to give them a bit of breathing room. Thankfully, they're going to need it. But Body lines them up down below. They go down toward the flames. Shox backs off. Another uncharacteristic miss, the way things have been going this game. But I dare say they may have already done enough. Bomb goes down. MBK there, 10-0. Astralis are getting outplayed right now. They're getting absolutely battered.
They look outclassed. Astralis, unless the tag was there, I wouldn't say this was Astralis playing right now. They look a little bit lost on the server. Running through, I think it was double incendiaries on the lower ramp at that point, taking so much damage, getting flashed in the process as well, blocking each other, weren't being assertive at all. Now they're kind of floundering. They're getting to the point where we're not winning anything, we're not getting any picks, nothing's really going in our favor. Let's do this simple inside play, but shut down once again. But like I said at the beginning of the half, good utility management from G2, saving those incendiaries. When you have so much money as a CT side, that can be very beneficial to you. I know Bomb once again means another eco here for the Danish side. Apex finding another opening kill, AK-47 to the cranium of Dupree there, and damage inflicted to Kiabi. Nothing really to speak of for the Danish side here. Astralis, Kiabi 8 HP, has separated the bombs in T-spawn. Device has got out towards main entrance, but he's taken down as well. He's by himself. That's not going to be too beneficial for them, and no nades remaining, and 3 players available. This looks like another G2 round as we get into the 1 minute 15 mark. It's going to be a nice shot there from Kiabi. Can he follow it up? Apparently not.
It's a tough task. NBK has to reload eventually. Glaive was able to slip up undetected in that time. However, he's gone down and once more. A flank, a kill, and a win for G2. Still not finding any ground inside of the sites. And that time, no bomb planted.
You know the good thing about this situation is, Jason said if a 16-0 ever happened, he has a Red Eye style quote ready to go. If it ever happens, like a Brutal Savage Wrecked, he's got his own one. He's ready to kind of...
Really?
Yeah,
Does
so
he?
He's got
told
it ready.
you this. He plans lines?
Yeah.
Do you think he writes them down and rehearses them in the mirror?
If it ever happened, he'd drop it here on Pro League. So that's the only good thing that can come out of the 16-0.
All right, let's go for it. And watch, now that you've said it, Henry, here's the Astralis round. So they are going to go finally for an isolation play out toward Ivy. Not fully committed to utilizing smokes just yet, but Shox still trying to evaluate what's going on. Same set smoke from Body allows Shox a lot more room to cross over and peer above it. Body's also able to get close, and as we saw, there was one in the corner. But they've since backed off. Glaves won against NBK first time, but the first time he wins it, Body's going to be able to push. If Zipex misses the shot, that would have spelled disaster, because look at their HP, 12 apiece.
Indeed. It was Body pushing inside, trying to recover the situation. A reaction play from him. It's now a 5-on-3 in favor of Astralis for Shoxy. Of course, he's fighting back. Kenny S is going to be there as well, but he's hitting absolutely everything. A 3-on-2 now. The advantage falls away, but Glaive does find a kill in return. Still have a shout within this round, but there it is. Kenny S stepping up once again.
That's unreal. They sit in the corner at Ivy. They're walking. Kenny hits an incredible shot up close. Glaive's got to go 1 versus 1 against Apex. And as he swings back to the hitch, gets caught immediately. 12-0. And here's the saddest part about all of this, Henry.
Go on.
I have Device and Glaive on my fantasy team.
I've got Shoxy and Kenny S. It's all coming up, Henry, today.
I'm out.
Not just a good-looking face and a heavy beard. He also knows his fantasy picks as well.
Don't talk about Sponge. he's way ahead of you in fantasy, so I agree with that statement.
Well, round number 13 coming in, and it's going to be Astralis. Oh, that would leave me frustrated. You finally get an entrance into the round, a 5-on-3, then Shoxy and Kenny S to deal with you, and 12-0 as we get into this one. All available for Device. After Plant comes in, he does find the opening pick once again. It wasn't enough in the previous round. Can they step up this time?
So Deva starts off with 1. Spray down from Kirby, finally again beating MBK.
Here we go.
Trying to change it up. That's a much better shot from range as well. And it's a 5 versus 1. So a real chance they can pick up a round on this round 13. It means Jason might have to save his poetry for much later. So Body gets the nade down, sprays in, 1 gone, stays with 34 HP.
Yeah, not really much Body can do with this one, apart from damage the money. If he finds 2 more kills...
It's not amazing money. They could be... Well, no, we're on 13. We're going into... Yeah, so it can't be done. Sorry.
But
They're 1 round short of it.
Yeah, like if Body can just like find a few kills this round, as they're trying to hunt him down potentially, then they win the next one. They could find themselves with pistols the last 2.
But looking at the money as I just did, the point I was going to make is it's not worth it.
Yeah.
They're not going to break them anyway, save their own. There's no point
for
in
them,
trying to...
I'm saying body-defined frags, right?
Yeah.
So if they win the next round, they could shut them down. So if it gets 1 frag, that'd be
we were talking from different perspectives,
yes.
And I think we tripped over each other a little there, Henry.
Yeah.
It's fine. Right. We've all worked it out in the end.
Happens to the best of us.
That's true. It happens to Blue and Dazed all the time.
And they're not even number 1 like you, so...
Stop it. You're making me blush.
4-on-1, Body will survive. And it's the first round, I can't believe I'm saying that, for Astralis, and one of the arguably best maps in the pool overall. That's
if they sweep this and go 12-3, Henry, I won't write it off.
No, absolutely. Apex pulls out the Auto Sniper. Double Auto Snipers. They're trying to give some rounds away, it looks like.
This used to be a famous play for Exist on this map.
That's how you give rounds away. You get a bit cocky, a bit ahead of yourself, and you give them a free round because you've got 2 Auto Snipers and 2 Orbs. What is this?
Yeah, this used to be Exist toward Ivy.
Yeah.
But that was before the double box was placed, and you could see all the way into A main, right. So you could spray down the entire wall. Now that double box is there, and obviously the much different entrance from A main, you're not coming in from the side of the site anymore, where the sandwich position essentially is now. It's not quite as powerful, but we'll still see a kill from it, no doubt. Kenny's got one on the AWP. Apex takes down Dupree through the wall. Now they're just getting under the skin of Astralis.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, when you're Dupree and you lose the first 2 picks like that, his teammates go down to the Orbs. He's at Ivy by himself. He has no real choice but to try and face and get a pick at that point. He knows he's probably going to die, has to go for it. Apex sprays him down, but Glaive has found something here. He's sneaked in towards the lower ramp. Bomb's down, though. If he had the bomb in his back, maybe he's got a chance of making this round a possibility. But still a 3-on-2, and with 3 sniper rifles to retake a bomb site here, potentially. Astralis not out of this round just yet.
Shots coming in through the wall. You can see the bullet holes and how close they were. So the Molotov will go in beyond the smoke, hold off Kenny for a bit longer. Shox has already made his way. Look at this, though.
Just look it up. 2
AWPs and an auto sniper.
Yeah, this is when it comes back to haunt them.
And, well, I'm just going to say the way things are going today, it's going to work. There goes Glaive. And it's down to Kierby. Not only that, he's going to play high corner. Forget it. He's got the Molotov, sure, but there's going to be an AWP there. Smoke's down, thankfully, because that allows him to get the Molotov in. Flash goes, no, he did make it through. Thought it hit the roof, and he's going to try and come in. Smoke's on it. He's got a spray. He's got a hit. Does, but Shox is there, and double up. Auto sniper retake successful.
Shoxy playing out of his mind in that round as well. He got his opening pick on the lower ramp and then the retake frag as well. The headshot down the last alley of the train track is going to be very impressive from him. Here's Apex with the auto sniper. And yeah, this pretty much summarizes the game so far. If you're winning rounds with double auto snipers and double orbs, like that should be quite easy to shut down. Obviously, Astralis had no idea it's coming in, but that retake there, 3-on-2 with 3 sniper rifles, shouldn't really be a thing. But here we go, the final round of the first half. Outside rush. Let's give it a go, boys. And Shoxy hits the first shot, of course.
Shooting gallery. Oh, but Device is in the lane. Gets one back. Kenny gets another. This is one of the most dominant halves. This is SK dominant train style right now.
But they haven't even been super aggressive, to be fair. It's not like they're shutting it down and finding opening frags. They're just holding lines and hitting the shots.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah.
I will say MBK got a bit of aggressiveness toward, passive aggressive. Can we agree on that? With Pop Dog, yeah.
But like SK, when they're in the absolute prime, they're pushing Ivy, pushing inside the
that's for sure. Right? That I will say. SK was a lot more aggressive, but still similar style in that the T's couldn't get anything going. This is more inside of the site. They will pick up round 2, 13-2 at half. That is remarkable and not what I would have expected.
That's what I was saying. At that point, when you're losing so many rounds, go for those outside rushes that allow you to actually have some jewels and a chance of hitting some shots. The D-balls weren't working out for them. They're rarely getting the bomb down. The set pieces were an absolute mess. G2 13-2, but like we said, Astralis is one of their absolute best maps. Maybe they can come back. We'll find out in the second half.
Well, a hot match of the week between #1 in the league and the Comeback Kings G2 that have been bouncing back for the entire season. They looked great at the event at Star Ladder. It's been all one-sided and not for the team on top. It's G2, in this particular case, that's been absolutely classing them.
And yeah, I'd say that's absolutely fair, but also, with that in mind, Astralis, this is not the usual Astralis we're used to seeing. They haven't turned up to this game at all. It's not like they've been blown out of the water in terms of G2 playing amazing CS. Astralis have been playing pretty average CS overall. They're looking confused, not very assertive, and like that final round, like I said, they've just done more of those rounds. Okay, well, guys, the tactical stuff's not working out for today. Group up, stick together, just have a 5-man unit going out and challenging frags. They might have had a bit more success overall. 2 rounds obtained for Astralis, the world's #1 team right now, up against it. G2, we're looking pretty sharp with the AWPs, to say the least. MBK as well with that AK-47 once he picked that up, was hitting absolutely everything in his crosshair. But let's get into the second half now, shall we? Astralis do switch over to the CT side. We'll focus more on them, seeing as they are on the uphill struggle this time. Winner's pistol, it is still a very CT-sided map. Maybe they can get back into it. We'll see. Just in terms of the G2 buy as well, Superman, it's going to be Shoxy, Tech 9 and armor for him. And they've got 3 smokes. This suggests it won't be inside like usual. This will be towards outer. Smoking connector, the bomb train and Ivy as well. We'll see whether that rings true as we do get into this one now.
Well, we know G2 is very good on pistols. You pointed that out last time, and they delivered. It's going to put even more pressure onto Astralis. I will favor on this map the USPs, just as I would on pretty much every map, although the Tech 9 for Shocks with armor Superman build is threatening. 2 smokes in. Seemed like they were on the same trail. One bounces to go on top of the train, one doesn't. There is a gap at Hitch, but no one's looking through it.
Oh!
Doesn't matter. Dupree gets the headshot on MBK inside of the smoke. That almost threw it through the smoke as well, which would have been a massive problem considering by design it's planned for that. Now this is the interesting dynamic and element to it because they push back Zipix. Although Shocks will go down, they've got Apex pushing up, who's going to try and flank them back out from Z Connector, and Kenny was trying to do the same as they wrap back into the site from back halls. Good shot. Kenny looks for a second. As always, he hits shots on the pistol. Device gets one, but only one. Kenny's there to take him down, and it's all to Kenny. He's going to fall, thankfully, for Astralis.
Just about pulled it off. Kenny S there coming in for the backstab at Ivy as well. They had Apex lurking in towards the inside side as well. There was potential there, but Dupree, he finds a bit of a lifeline after hitting the headshot through the smoke, as you said. The set piece comes in for G2, and they do pick up the much-needed pistol. They lose that, it's pretty much GG. But at this point, G2, they get the bomb down. They found 3 kills of Kenny S as well. They have an option to bar into this round. I'd say probably not worth it, but if they did, they might have a chance considering there's 4 UMPs out for Astralis. I think they'll take the more conservative approach. 2 P250s, and they'll be buying up AKs in the 3rd round. Kenny S will have more residual cash left over, and so we go for the P250. The airstrike towards main entrance finds a body there. 2 HEs straight to the face, and Dupree will be taking down MBK in the process, but does take a lot of damage, down to 1 HP, to be precise.
Glaive will wait. Kenny's got it covered off. I thought that was Kenny going down for some reason when we snapped over that quickly, but hasn't covered off. He decides to go by him and try and get further information inside of the site. Kirby wins that duel, so we'll get a 4th round for Astralis, unless Shocks does something absolutely ridiculous, but he's not going to, Henry. I hate to be anticlimactic for you. I know you love a good thriller.
It's true. Good find Glaive, though. He's going to be checking it as well. Oh, beaten to the punch by Glaive. That would have been beneficial for Shocks. We know they're buying up into the next round. If he gets that kill, another $600 on top of his 4,500 right now. So he could have brought the AWP out if he wanted to, but not going to be the case. Here's Kenny S in that pistol round. Oh, looking so sharp right now, isn't he? 3 very accurate headshots there. But Zipex has to pick up the Tech 9, shut the round down. 13-4, and Device brings out an early AWP. He knows the AKs are coming out, so he wants to have something to work with here going forward. Not a UMP, that's not ideal. Let's see whether he can find some frags here.
Kenny's gone in toward A main, the others toward Pop Dog. Kenny's going super aggressive. But down go. The rest of his team coming in through from Pop. They've got a response. Kenny finds 1, but it gets Device a lot closer. Look at the feet. Kenny spotted them first. AK-47 actually gets the headshot through just the edge of the gap, so the lineup was favorable. But it's on to Shocks nonetheless. 45 HP, the early buy. Same way that G2 took the momentum in the first half, is by getting and winning this early gun buy against the terrorists. Astralis could do the same now. Not such an easy task as Shocks finds a kill back. 45 HP is going to look toward the hitch. Zipex will peek. And the duel goes to the favor of Astralis.
Always a scary situation. We're left in a 2 versus 1 situation, and Shocks is the player up against you, but Astralis managed to hold their nerve and find the 3-0 here. That was the big round. Now we might have a game on our hands because G2, have to take an eco here. So Deagles, P250s, no nades, pretty much full eco, and Astralis a chance to build their bank accounts. They can still do it, believe it or not. 13-2 might seem like it's a foregone conclusion, but at this point, Astralis got something to work with. So they want to try and keep a clean sheet this round. Don't give anything away, no plants towards G2. Just keep limiting their money going forward. Smoke towards Ivy will buy Kiavi some time here. See if he can spot the head of the player being boosted up, which is Body. He should be taken down with relative ease. Actually, doesn't predict it. It's going to be Glaive to open things up.
Cabby spots the Tracer coming through. And that'll bring Dupree over. Ooh, nearly takes his teammate's head off, but doesn't matter. In the end, besides, his teammate doesn't need a head. It's only Device. He's best without a head.
Okay, whatever that means, I like it. 13-6. Kenny S, they map. 23
Opman. Can we go with that?
That's better.
Yeah, can we go with that one, Henry? Does that satisfy you?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
All right.
Okay.
I'll spell it out for you every time now.
G2, Kenny S brings out the AWP, and this is the first real duel. Like I said, the money not amazing for them. Kenny S well, head armor is actually a real big deal. If you're on the T side as well, it means the M4s can insta-dink you and find those initial headshots. But here we go. Default coming in for now. They have obtained brown holes. No CT presence there towards the upper ramp. Just one player towards inside for now. Zipex, of course, but sometimes that's enough. KRB does rotate him for Connector to back him up. And we've got Glaive in the pop dog area as well. Device with that AWP will be challenging towards. Flashbang's not good, but still doesn't land the shot.
That was a risky way of doing it. Rather than going for the jump across, Apex just jumps, or rather runs across. I think they were expecting it. Look at the HP, though. Shock's down. MBK's on 18.
Ooh.
And that'll put him lower still, but the shot's going the other way. Body actually found Glaive. I thought for sure that it was going to be Zipex getting the kill. They didn't commit to it, and now he's pinched it off as they come down through from the Ivy towards CT. Device smoked. They've opened this up.
Have to boost, they know it. KNS ready for it.
Oh, he's staring at it. Yep. There he goes. That is well read. Very well read with that smoke down.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's why that smoke's so powerful, right? The only option the CTs have to go for the boost. The bomb's down. It's one of the hardest areas in the entire of CSGO to retake. And you know they're going to have to boost. KNS ready for it. Round over. 14-6. And it's G2 setting presence all over the map there. Ivy inside, Pop Dog as well. And they do manage to get inside, and Zipex did a ton of damage there. He dinks both players, but he only finds one kill. At that point, the rotating player goes down at that stage as well, and someone's made their way towards CT's one for G2. It's just a bit of a blunder for Astralis overall, and now G2 one round away from finding a match point. Double orb set up on the T side. Virtus Pro run there sometimes, but G2, like we said, they love to force this double orb setup. It seems to be one of their characteristics right now. We saw it being very prevalent over in StarLadder. Not so impressive in the playoffs, I have to say. It looked amazing in the group stages, but it certainly dropped off. And once it gets shut down, when people started watching their demos and having a lot of intel to work with, that's when it seemed to drop off quite significantly.
So Dupree Blue Train will try and get a little bit of information in toward A main. Quick flash down, a lot of shocks around the corner. Doesn't quite go far enough on the bounce to hit Device. I think it clipped the top of the server. So he backs away. And that causes a bit of concern toward Ivy. As you can see, it pulls Glaive back away from E-Box. Device even came out from Z-Connector in toward the site, but to go back now to set and be ready, including that of Device taking the AWP back over toward B. With no commitment, though. Could still go either direction. Top of Pop Dog right now with Apex down below in A main, and Flash is heading in that direction. Suggests it may look toward A. I would say now with the utility going out, it will. Good find for Dupree. That's going to keep Glaive alive as well. He's forward to the smokes to watch Pop Dog. And if Dupree had not found that kill, Glaive would have gone down sooner, the key word, because Kenny still finds him, which means they've got the one-man advantage as Kierby missiles his way in toward the nook at Ivy. Spots one going toward the bomb. Better shot from Shocks. That's incredibly quick. Device had that lined up, but 10 seconds bomb down. That may be enough to deny it, as Kenny's got to find kills. He can't. He's got to bail off.
Yeah, they took their time there as they're waiting for the initial picks to come in. It was a full default. Kenny has to stay alive here. If he goes down to an HG, he's going to get no money. Kiabi's got it, but can't pull it in time. So Astralis keep their head above water and actually reset the money once again for G2. They save an orb shore. They can buy 2 AKs, Shoxy and Body with over $4,000 each, slowing the round right down. They went for the slow default into not so much an execution outsiders trying to go for the initial picks, waiting for their opportunity to flash out and allow the double orbs to open things up. They certainly did, finding a kill each, but at that point, Astralis fought back and the timer running down. Kenny had no chance to even try and win the 2 versus 1. So he saves his orb, and we do have a tactical pause there. I'm sure this will be called by G2 at this stage, just to work out, like I said, saved orb, and 2 players with enough to buy. Kenny could drop a UMP as well. It's not normally ideal for your AWPer to do that, but they're looking for match points, so maybe he'll join in the fun and try and spread the wealth, as it were. But he's also got a Tech 9 he could drop for his teammates. So plenty of options. That's why you take a timeout, allow Smiths to chime in and work out what's going to be the best approach here, just to find them round number 15. We always talk about match point being the kind of pressure valve. As soon as you find that, it's quite easy to close the game out. But at this point, it's still a bit dicey for them.
Definitely dicey. I mean, this is the look. If anyone knows that 14 does not mean the game is over, it's Astralis.
Yep, absolutely.
And maybe Liquid. But
yeah,
they're more 15, to be fair.
Yeah, they love taking it to overtime and then having a crushing loss in overtime. That's their thing. Astralis is definitely the guys that stick it on 14. But yeah, this pause should be coming undone momentarily. They haven't bought anything just yet, so as you can see, nothing on their backs. And T-Spawn still discussing, having a meeting there, working out what they're going to do. In terms of the Astralis buy, it's not amazing, I'll say that now. It's going to be Glaive on the UMP. Dupree yet to buy. I'm sure he must have a gun on the floor waiting for him. Where is he? Yeah, he's got a little M4 waiting for him. So he's fine as well. Device on the AWP. Only 10 frags for Device. 10 for 18. Let's get into it. Right, let's talk about my fantasy team. Kenny S on 26 frags. Shoxy on 23. I could still do this. I could come back with those 2 picks.
Yeah,
I think the first
Aren't
place.
you like 700 points behind?
800 and, I've got 860, I think.
Okay,
this
so
game alone
you're
could
500
do it.
points
this
behind.
This game could do it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that in 5 days you're not going to make up 500 points a night, Henry. I hate to burst your bubble.
I don't know.
You could catch Alex, who hasn't changed his team for 3 weeks.
That's my objective. That's my first goal.
I was going to stack on G2, but I had to go for Astralis in this one. So my boys are going to pull it back here, Hank.
We'll see. Well, it looks like an outside play. They did force into this, like I was saying. 2 AKs and Tech 9s. Kenny has dropped his Tech 9s because he's got a Glock. So spreading the wealth. And we'll see whether this final play maybe gets them around number 15. Device towards Connector will be an outside play, which makes sense. You've got 2 Tech 9s. You can push through the smokes and challenge the CTs who might be a little bit uncomfortable when the smokes deployed. MBK coming from Pop Dog. Glaive waiting for him though, and will find the frag with relative ease.
Yeah, very, very easily done. Smoked off, however. Leaves him out of the equation. Pushed back as well by Body. He swings, missed from Device. This gets awkward. Thankfully, Xyp9x will put an 8 in that position, which will allow Device to go hunting elsewhere, takes the bomb down, and Kenny has to try and pull that back with his Asimov AWP. Not quite sure he'll have the best time trying to do so. "27 seconds as well with that bomb down at Sandwich. It might be best to just try and fade off and keep the AWP at this point in time.
Yeah, he's only got $1,400. His teammate will be on second stage. Lost bonus going to the next round. They're all fully invested, so he might as well save the AWP. It's very unlikely he can get anything done here with 10 seconds remaining. I think he might drop as well. Glaive is holding his heels towards T-spawn. 5 seconds remaining, and yeah, he's definitely going to die here. No chance he survives. Does find one, though. He's certainly going to keep things interesting, and over these close-range shots. This time he'll be jumping and can't get it.
Pistol would have done him better if he'd known. Yeah. Glaive was so low.
Yeah, he knew he was going to be pincered in at that point. Did well to even stay alive that long. So there we go. Astralis now breaking the economy once more. G2, about $2,000 per player, so not really much invested into this round. You can see what they're trying to do with his Tech 9s. Set smoke going in, but Glaive, very good play from him. Having the UMP, using it to its best sort of stance, aggressive, close range, gets inside the Pop Dog room, denies that first kill, drops a smoke, which is interesting, you pointed out. That's just to keep him alive and take the attention away. They can't really do anything about him being in there. They have to be worried about it as well. He can still spam bullets through and hear footsteps, so it's actually quite an intelligent play from him. I like that. And we get into round number 8 here. Glocks and 1 PT50 for Shoxy. Looks like G2 might have to wait a few more rounds here to close this one out, but Astralis still within their grasp. Can still do this.
Body out. And Ivy just jumping across to bait shots. Oh, he got lucky. Missed the jump. Landed in front of the guardrail. Back for more as well. Brave against the AWP, but ultimately just trying to have some fun, I think, in this round. More than anything, being that far removed. Good spray down. Xyp9x and Glaive finding 2 each. And now Body will run back that direction to get the bomb and plant it against 5, Henry. And I don't think he's going to pull this off. Knife around the corner.
Take a bit of magic here. Not going to happen. Glaive will find that final frag, 49. Scoreline currently 7-1 here. Round by round, they're making this more realistic for themselves. That's where you got to do it. You can't look at the scoreline at the top. You just got to keep going, soldiering on. And we get into round number 9 here. I don't think Kenny can get the AWP, you know. I think he's got a Tech 9 here. And this might suggest a faster round coming in for them. Maybe one of those outside rushes, like I was saying, Astralis should do when they were getting shut down every single time. The defaults weren't really working out for them. And we can see fast smokes coming in towards outside. They're actually doing a very fast execution here. 3 players on top of the dumpster right now. This is one at the strap hook. And we'll see what that's out. The bomb's actually towards Pop Dog, and that's going to be given away right at the start of the round. Shoxy, a bit of a misplay from him, I have to say. 5 on 4, bomb down.
Bomb down indeed. Device has the right side covered off. Dupree has the left. Dupree's been making ground. He's still the lowest fragger, but in this particular half, he stepped up. Glaive gets one. Here's Kenny drop down, but sprays off to the wrong side. I thought Kenny went back down again, and good old Rushley pulled some trickery with the X-ray. I thought I saw a leg stick through, but it wasn't. They're still trying to get the position. Glaive's gonna hold it. Kenny finally gets one. In fact, Xyp9x cratered Henry by taking damage before coming down to the bottom of the ladder. So he must have had about 3 when he hit the ground there. I don't think there's much damage that can be done down this. So, not bad.
3-on-1 now. Kenny S. He's so good at the rifles, I have to say. He's, in my opinion, one of the best all-rounders in the game. He's known normally for his AWP prowess, but see what he can do with his AK. He's causing some damage here. Might find a plan.
He and Shocks, I think, are both in that realm. So to have them both on the same team, it's pretty impressive. Cold Zero's another one.
He can still win this.
Ooh, could still win it. It's going to be tough. He's got to hit shots, and Dupree still has the angle lined up. I think the second one arrived a little sooner than he was expecting as well with Device on top of the train. So they'll bring it now to 14-10. Astralis making a case for this after all. Kenny sits with 30. Glaive on 25.
He's keeping the dream alive here.
Need some more from Device, and then we'll be laughing here, Hank.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
25 and 30.
That's not bad, is it? 14-10. Astralis definitely still winning this one, and it's going to be a little for body there. Money still not getting to comfortable position. You see Shocks, MBK, and Apex, Matt. No nades between 3 players. That's pretty shocking. So they have to work purely on aim here. Default coming in. Nothing too fast. And Kiabi, he's watching towards Ivy. He's got the AK in hand. We discussed why that's so beneficial for CTs in the first half. Can he say to challenge him? Good smoke. Right, some time once more. Nothing really the terrorists can do. They can try and boost up by the server, but that's where the CT will be pre-aiming. He's made it out. Not quite too well off, but watching towards Connect to see if a player maybe walks in front of E-Box here.
Flash off, Glaive. Tried to scurry to cover, couldn't do it. Rat out of his nest. Shocks is going to get a lot of movement from this as well. They've opened up that 1 kill. Look how much space this gives him. He's got to be ready for it. He's not. Shocks goes down, and Kiarby, though, getting 1 toward Ivy. It signals Shocks to turn back and find him in the end. This could be round 15. It certainly looks more and more like it, and it will be. They find Xyp9x rotating back in, and it's 1 from the game.
Certainly is. 15-10. Astralis now, money's not great either. I can see a shotgun coming in Matthew Dupree with the Max 7. Can be very good at that weapon. It's situational, but certainly training lends itself to that weapon, and a couple of UMPs as well.
The best SMG in 2 games now.
Excuse me?
Battlegrounds.
Oh, right, okay. Yep, back to that. I was wondering what the hell you're talking about.
Don't worry about it.
But there you go. At least you're not talking about Solitaire this time. That was a bit much.
Glaive gets 1. Good shot back. Shocks will take down Dupree immediately after on a good trade. Smoke off to the left, and they've got to be careful because Glaive's going to get sprayed into that.
How's it live?
Okay, he's not. Body got him. I was going to say I'm shocked that Shocks doesn't get the kill, no pun intended. But I'll take it, Henry. Good push back by Kiabi. They have to do something to level up the score. And this could be even better. Xyp9x catches 1 with a knife out. Headshot on the second. Bomb goes down. He is caught by Body, but now it's a 2 versus 1. They know where the bomb is. They know there's ample opportunity to try and shut it. However, they split. Kiabi's expecting him to go back through T-spawn. He'll call now. He hasn't.
Device.
And Device has to be perfect. He has to be in position, and he has to be ready. His foot shows.
Hits him.
Body knows he's there. I don't think the flash landed, and Device is able to turn back, and we go yet another.
Oh, that was close. It was a big round for Astralis to pick up there. 2 UMPs. A Max 7, and Device delivers the goods in the final play there towards the inside sight. It was Xyp9x, to be fair, to say today. I like that push him in towards T-spawn. He gets perfect timing. 2 players are knives out, sprays both of them down, and I think this might be another, oh, not a pause, a map medic, it says. Is that correct? Looks like everyone's on the server, Matt. What do you think? Or maybe it is, because they're all running around now and not really doing much. So something's gone horribly wrong in the back end of the system. We'll see what exactly is going down.
So it's going to be a medic. They'll fix it.
We need a medic.
You do need a medic. I think you need a psychiatrist, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, I'll look into that. Do you want to be it for me?
Yes, I diagnose you with crazy.
Okay, perfect. Can I have some pills now?
All of the pills at once, perfect. Please.
Lovely stuff.
Well, with that said, we're going to take a short break as well, and everything will come back to life. All as good as new, Hank.
Okay.
As good as new. We'll be right back. we'll get back into it. Get underway. We've got things fixed up. It was 15-11.
It was.
And then we'll jump into this one and get things rolling and see if Astralis have any chance of making it true.
Well,
of completing the comeback.
Yeah, as I recall, they had the round with 2 UMPs, the shotgun, they managed to pick that one up and reset the money of G2 once again. It was a 13-2 first half, so they've done very well to even make it this close. They're going to have to make it overtime now to actually see this one out, but 4 rounds to do it, and the money's in their favor. Still could be a possibility for sure. I have to say, though, Kenny S and Shoxy, they're playing lights out right now, hitting absolutely everything, looking very scary in all situations, and Astralis got their work cut out. They're going to shut them down, but this round should be going in their favor, I would assume. From what I can remember in the money, we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, Astralis suddenly waking up as we get into it. Glaive's pretty much the only superstar kind of level right now. Everyone else kind of dropped off. He's on what, like almost 30 frags?
Yeah, insanity. 28, I believe. 28 okay. And 19, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So yeah, no, very, very good round from him. I mean, look, if you're in game leading and your team is struggling, lead by example. Why not? And he's doing that right now.
Do what I'm doing. Frag them all. Get aggressive, get in their faces. Let's not be timid at this point. And it looks like they're getting ready to go. A player just dropped out there. It's probably one of the coaches.
Yeah. You know? Lead by example and never ask anyone to do anything you wouldn't do yourself. So he can definitely ask them to frag in this game.
That'd be nice. Well, it is 15-11. That score will update after this round, which presumably going in favor of Astralis, considering what kind of even the buys right now. Deagles, P250s, no nades, no armor, and Kenny S on just a Glock. If they win this, that will be so disheartening for Astralis after how far they've come in this comeback. But here we go then, towards Ivy. 3 players for G2, smoked out. KRB throws the same smoke pretty much at the same time every single round. Just to lock them out, deny the rush, and stop an AWP trying to pick him.
Zip spots one with the shoulder. G2, pistols against guns. It was a success for them in a quarterfinal. I was about to say semifinal, quarterfinal, where they lost all 6 pistols, and yet it went. That being said, obviously 3 maps. So they were reasonable on their eco situations. Good pick up from Astralis thus far. Line up toward Ivy, but can't spray through it. Body actually wins the duel against Kirby. That'll open up some space as well as a weapon at the end of the tunnel. They don't want to go that direction, however. It's back over toward B. Or NBK is going to try and take down the Zipix. Long shot on device. Hits either of those, and you get around. Nade will do damage. 23 left for him. And Zipix should be in position to cut off the bomb. He's going to fall back just so as not to give away a gun. Glaive has.
Why is he doing that?
Oh, I think he thought he was further than that. Glaive did not need to do that, but it's rectified. It's on the ground. It's MBK and Kenny remaining.
Yeah, still a chance of that. UMP, not known for being amazing at range. It should just about find the skill Zipix. Peppering Kenny S there, but MBK with a better shot. Could finish things off here. Double kill with the Desert Eagle. Not quite enough. Dupree saves the day in the 1v1. Shouldn't have been that close. Glaive pushing up Pop Dog. That's one of the least favorable angles for a CT to come up. Against the pistols, gives them a chance and another weapon to work with that. And MBK almost closed it out at 16-11, but not meant to be. Definitely damaged the money further, though.
Just to clarify, I guess that was 26, not 28 for Glaive, so I missaw. However, did damage the money in a lot of ways. Not that it matters, because a buy is all they need. It's not like they're saving for the next round.
Well, they still don't have incendiaries, right? So
true enough, sure, but I'm just saying it's not like it matters that they're being broken. You are right in utility.
Yeah.
Glaive will get back into the Pop Dog position. They've lost, Dupree, and MBK was tagged to 32, but they still hold the advantage, and they're going to go back down. So, ooh, he caught the ladder.
Yeah, if he's trying to, I think, bait out the shot and then fly back up, but then go caught on the ladder, you're absolutely right, and now it's a 4-on-4. Bit of a clumsy round, all things considered. Shoxy looking to rectify. Glaive has not left the Pop Dog room as of yet.
Yeah, that's such a strong, I guess, not strong, but risky play for me. I hate the ladder mechanics. I'll KZ all day, so just throw a ladder into a jump map, I'm out. I'd never be the one to try that. So if they can do it, credit to them. Apex will get Zipix down, though, and it is the advantage for G2. That's taken back, though. And further damage in, they know exactly where Apex is. Shox will sit and hold the angle. It's tight, it's close. And it's Apex that's going to go hunting instead. He'll get it as well. This is going to open up the A site. Nearly missed it, but that gives Glaive a chance to get back in. Bomb can't be planted. Apex, he's fallen off the backside of the train. Glaive, he's lost sight of him. Advantage Apex, perhaps, and the round to G2. Not only that, the map as well.
Yeah, it wasn't the most beautiful CS towards the end there. G2 looking a little bit sloppy, but they managed to close it out. It was a 13-2 first half. Astralis did tremendously well to get back at this on their CT side, but Yeah, G2 overall the much better team. Astralis looked weak coming into this one. Looks like they hadn't really maybe practiced going into this before this map. Maybe it was the first game of the day, I'm not so sure. No one was hitting the shots. The star players didn't really arrive. Device, quiet performance from him. And Glaive was almost a hero once more there in that final round. Couldn't quite close it out versus Apex.
Well, with that said, we'll send it back over to our lovely friends on the desk. I do say that with a grain of salt. Jason, it's all you.
Yeah, I mean, that was... We started that out by saying G2 maybe hadn't put in as much time as. We heard they had some issues outside the game. The train wasn't a map they were going to enjoy, but they certainly enjoyed the first half. A 13-2 finish, and they needed that entire cushion to close that match out.
That was ridiculous, wasn't it, really? Let's be honest. That first half was outstanding from them, and Kenny S had one of those classic Kenny S games. It felt like we're starting to see it more and more often, and what a great moment for him to have that as well. Completely dominating Device, who never... seemed to make an impact to anywhere near the same level. So yeah, huge game from him, and I guess Shox as well warmed up towards the end too. Yeah, I mean, Shox also had a good game, and I mean, that seems to be one of the easy recipes for this team to win, is those two going off. Chad, your thoughts on this map?
Yeah, for sure, those two players together is what we always wanted, right? But the CT side, I always talk about the pacing that teams can pull out when they're on the T side. They're running their strats, they're taking territory, they're mixing it up, they're doing contact, they're playing slow. You can do the same thing on the CT side, right? Because if you're playing aggressive, then you can change the pace, you can play a bit more passive. And then it gets so late in the game, you saw there was one round where they just made a read and had two players inside ready and raring to go. Buddy was already behind that pop dog train. Molotov came in, got a double kill, Shox was there with an assist. And that's something that they had rolling for them, which is why they got a 13-2 scoreline. But I think, you know, if they didn't have that, if we were looking at like a 10-5 or maybe even an 11-4, like a pretty standard kind of CT half, they might have been in trouble there because they brought out those double orbs. They were trying everything on their T side, and they just were really, really struggling with it. Yeah, I mean, that's the question. What was going wrong on this T side for G2? Because that could have been a pretty easy closeout, it felt like. It took them so long to get any rounds on the board. Well, they both had good CT sides, right? Like, so it's hard to say what was going wrong or what was going right, because you could look at what was going wrong for Astralis, and you could say, well, maybe that actually wasn't their fault. They were just getting picked apart. Some amazing frags from Shox and Kenny makes it very difficult. And on the flip side of it, Glaive had an amazing game. He had a good both halves, I thought, actually. But him being pushed up in Pop Dog actually was such a thorn in the side of G2 in several rounds. Saw towards the end there that it actually got them caught out, because if he's in Pop and they're able to get out team mid and kill his teammates, he's just completely stuck. But if he can stay in there, you know, actually get a frag, cause the other players to have to look in his direction and kind of pester so his teammates can be in a position to frag them, that can be an effective way to play the CT side. But to build on the point of the T side, I don't know. Like, it's just like they were just hitting their shots from the CT side and making it difficult. And let's put it into perspective as well for what this game means to either side. Astralis currently sat, if I'm not mistaken, probably around first, if not second. Yeah. They're basically up at the top. They should be safe. They need more wins to be 100% sure, but you know, they're pretty much safe. It's seeding time for them now. That's what's in the back of their minds. But then you look at the complete flip of things. It's G2. That's with the additional win just now. Otherwise, they're at the mercy of FaZe and Mouse Sports. So for them, they needed a minimum of one map, and you would have said at the start of the day, Cash was probably going to be that. But for them to pick up Train, and now with Cash on the horizon, this actually brings them in a great position to be able to kind of boost themselves way further now into kind of that top 3 position. Looking at seedings. Again, it's just to try and avoid, I guess, the random element of depending on other people's results to keep you in that top 6. Yeah, keeping in mind that G2 started this season, I believe it was 1-7 towards the bottom, and they've jumped up. So Astralis has to avoid that fate. They can't collapse here at the end because there's still a chance they fall out of playoff contention. Either way, when we return, it's going to be cash between these two teams.